Hello, and welcome to the Ralphe Armstrong Show. We've got a jazz icon here today. One of the finest musicians on the planet, and one of my favorite people, Mr. Marion Meadows. How are you, sir?
Hey, Ralph, how are you?
Man, I'm doing good.
It's always wonderful to see you.
Man, how did you get started in music?
Well, you know, it's funny. I had an interesting story. I was in third grade, and you know, they used to bring you those recorders in school.
Right.
And they handed them out, and believe it or not, I could just play it. I could play it, and my teachers came to me and said, "How do you know how to play that thing?" And I go,
Yeah.
"I don't know." And so she sent me to the band teacher the first day I got a recorder, and that was the day I started in band. I want to play sax though, but I got a clarinet. So.
So that's really how you got started with the saxophone.
Well, I played clarinet until high school.
Oh.
I didn't even
okay.
I didn't get a saxophone until they needed another sax player in the jazz band in high school. I thought I was going to be playing sax, but all the way through junior high, I played clarinet. So I started playing classical clarinet, and I got a good foundation. But I always liked jazz, so I used to always improvise.
Well, you can play. A lot of musicians don't know you can play all styles of music, man.
Oh,
because I've worked with you, man. I know what you can
brother.
do. But you know what? This is something that a lot of people don't know, and I don't know. Where are you from? Where were you born?
Well, I was born in West Virginia. And I'm a country boy, yeah. And I was, my dad didn't want to be a coal miner, so he moved us to Connecticut. He went to college, and you know, next thing I know, he's coming back to get the family and moved us up to Connecticut. And I grew up in Stamford, Connecticut, outside New York City.
I know exactly. You know, I know where that's at because we have some of the same friends in that area.
Oh yeah,
you know, like Narada. We all started. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
So what's happening for the future, man? You got any new recordings coming out?
Yeah, I'm taking. You know, I moved to Hawaii now. I live in Hawaii.
Right. Yeah,
I live in
Hawaii.
Maui, and I'm taking the band to back to Maui next month, and we're gonna do actually our first album together as a band. You know, we've done lots of records, but always in different places at different times. But this is the first time we're going to actually stay in the studio and lock ourselves in, like the old days, like you guys used to do. And,
Right.
George Benson has a studio that when he used to live there, that is now owned by another friend of mine, Len Peterson.
Okay.
And he and Mick Fleetwood work out of there. So we're going to go to Hawaii and record this new project. So it's going to be very exciting.
That's going to be off the hook, man. But I want to ask you just a few more questions before we get out of here. Man, you know you are very much loved in this city, man. It's like you live here in Detroit. Everybody loves you, man.
My heart belongs to Detroit, and someone recently asked me in an interview, what is it about Detroit? And I say I have to attribute it to the sophistication of the listeners here.
Right.
People in Detroit they're well versed in the music, and so therefore by nature, Detroit fans are much more educated musically than any other city in America. I say that, and I'll say it to the day I die, that this is the city that has the most educated listeners in around the country.
Right. Well, you know what, man? You've been a friend of mine for a long time. Finally, I know what's happening with Marion. Thank you so much for coming on the Ralphe Armstrong Show. And we got to play again.
Absolutely.
We got to play together again, man.
I love that New Year's gig we did with Lenny White.
Yeah, well, Lenny's coming in, man. I had to get you back, man.
Thanks,
Thank you so much. And tune in to the Ralphe Armstrong Show. Peace.